Not only grown-ups can sing, we can too.
So easy on me, baby. I was still a child, didn't get the chance to.
CBC TV8 is having a kids karaoke show just for us. So children between the ages of 5 to 17 come in and join in for fun. Email nfoster@cbc.bb. Hear you soon. Bye.
For the past 19 years, QFM has been sharing with you, learning from you, and together building a community for all mature audiences. That's why we say Q is good for you. To our Q family, we say thank you for staying connected to Q 100.7 FM. QFM is a station of the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation. CBC, celebrating 60, connecting Barbadian communities.
Are you a youth group, 4-H club, school, Cub Scout or Brownie Pack, or any organization or club with children ages 4 to 11 years? If yes is the answer, then we at Fun School, we're looking for you. Let's have fun singing, dancing, listening to amazing stories, doing craft, and so much more. I'm such a kid at heart. But to be part of this fun and exciting new season of Fun School, just simply send an email to Alicia Alves Grant at aagrant@cbc.bb for further details. Fun School is back, and we're looking for you.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and together we will travel the world.
Oh, hi. My name is Stacia Whitaker, and I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist and a member of the Heart and Stroke Childhood Obesity Prevention Coalition. My motto is, when in doubt, leave it out, and it goes for when I'm eating, because sometimes things have ingredients that we're not sure of, and I like to keep it simple. And if I'm eating something and I'm not sure the ingredients in that particular thing, then I choose to leave it out. So I keep my snacking simple with fruit, nuts, or just water. It's easy to remember, there's no added ingredients, and it's also very nutritious. So remember, childhood obesity is real, so choose healthier alternatives. And when in doubt, leave it out.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
98 98.1 The One is more than a station.
We don't just play music, we keep you company, cheer you up, keep you informed and entertained. We are a vibe. What do you mean?
Every day we bring the party to you.
We are your #1 party station.
We love playing music for our listeners.
And we're committed to working with our clients and advertisers to make sure that you get the attention that you deserve.
98.1 The One, celebrating 18 and still your #1 party station.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kia Lewis, General Practitioner and Healthy Lifestyle Advocate. Good nutrition starts at home. So this school year, I want you to consider packing healthy, nutritious snacks and lunches for your children to carry, rather than having them buy them at school. And don't just pack things you think they should have. Have a discussion and come up with things that you both know they will enjoy.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
It's summer vacation, and CBC TV8 says laugh a little. Your mid-mornings have now included some family-friendly, side-splitting series like The Partridge Family, Benson, and Designing Women. TV not to be missed this vacation. Weekdays from 10 a.m. on CBC TV8. It's Match Day Live from the 246 with host Damian Best. Your all-access pass to the action happening in the BFA Premier League and beyond. Every last Monday of the month on CBC TV8. Kickoff time, 8:30 p.m. with analysis from our panel and highlights of the top performances. You can weigh in on the discussion via WhatsApp on 228-5562. It's Match Day Live from the 246. Don't you miss it.
My friend, you don't plan to get her. Oh, Barbados.
This is the CBC Morning Report for today, Tuesday, October 3rd. I'm Tisha Hines. Good morning. We do apologize for the late start to the morning report today. We're experiencing a few technical challenges. The BAS boss says there should not be a delay in looking to give financial support to the farming community because other countries the world over are assisting their farmers.
It is worrisome. On the one hand, you had a situation where the heat, and I will tell you that the propagation of crops have been extremely difficult in these heat conditions, right? Farmers have been having to give up on a crop largely because of the impact of the heat, and that is something, of course, it is worrisome. So you have these losses that are going to happen. The other point I wish to make, and you know the extent of the heat, we know, for instance, that the heat has impacted negatively on milk production. So, in other words, the productivity of the cows are not as great as if, for instance, the conditions were normal. The producing ability is less. The other point I wish to make, even in terms of the whole question of the cycle, the thing is the period between which you have to cycle, because remember, cows have first to get pregnant in order to produce milk. That in itself, because if the animals are not in comfortable conditions, environmental conditions, it will mean, therefore, that in order for a cow to get pregnant, it is more difficult. So all of these things impact on production overall. And I believe that the impact of these warm temperatures need to be understood. I also want to also refer to the fact that beyond that now, we have now this weather that is coming in here, where you could see where before the showers were kind of light, you're seeing now extremely heavy showers. I'm hoping that what we are seeing now is just an anomaly.
That, of course, is concerned this morning about the fluctuating weather patterns and the impact it's having on crop and livestock production. It's coming from Chief Executive Officer of the Barbados Agricultural Society, James Paul. In an interview with the Morning Report, he said that the varied conditions are having a negative effect. He also believes that a sign of the times and problems lie ahead for farmers. Possibly that some farmers may be on the verge of going out of business.
It is going to become very difficult for farmers if we continue to have conditions that are protracted like this. So we need to be concerned at this time, especially where we know farming has not been easy. And I think that we should not continue to fool ourselves that farming is not worthy of the support that is being offered. I'm one of those people that actually feel that somehow we put money into other areas in this country where, to my mind, it does not contribute to the livelihood of Barbadians as much as farming. But because of the glitz and glamour that is associated with those activities, we gladly go for it. On the other hand, a person who is adding and helping to reinforce the food security in this country, we don't support.
Coming up on the CBC Morning Report, we'll tell you how Jamaica is working to boost its economy.
My friend, you don't plan to get it. Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
Here's a news flash. We've just heard that the 2 Barbados fishermen who've been missing at sea for 12 days have been rescued.
The country stands poised tonight on the eve of one of its most significant historic events.
A very good evening to you as we bring you a look at local, regional and international news.
A very good evening to you. This is World Scene for Thursday, January 5th.
And that's the picture for some of the social services and cultural activities of 1982.
So when you go to rent a video cassette after May 1st, you'll have to pay more for it.
I'm Ian Bourne with another edition of the CBC Evening News.
Good evening, I'm Diane Fort. In our top story at 7...
The Faces of CBC. It's coming soon to CBC TV8 and it's available for sponsorship.
Jamaica is trying to boost its economy by developing what some call a festival company and an economy. The latest effort took place over the weekend with the multi-million-dollar Soca Plus production.
With the orange or entertainment economy accounting for an estimated 3% of global gross domestic product GDP, Jamaica continues to roll out productions to increase its share of earnings. I Love Soca Jamaica is spending more than 20 million Jamaican dollars for the execution of Soca Plus.
It's the only, to my knowledge, the only event currently in Jamaica, especially within the Kingston metropolitan area, where you're going to have 12 hours of entertainment, 12 hours of multi-genre entertainment.
It's definitely way over 25 million. This is definitely 3 times more what would normally spend on an I Love Soca. It is a very massive undertaking. The reality about it is something like this requires the support from sponsors, it requires support from the government, it requires serious investment from us and taking a risk.
Andrew Bellamy is Managing Director of I Love Soca Jamaica. This is the party's second staging.
We decided let's introduce something that's been on our mind for a long time. We wanted to introduce our festival, a one-day festival. We got the inspiration from festivals outside of Jamaica, so it was a perfect time to introduce the 12 hours. Never done before in Jamaica.
And things appear to be panning out better than last year as a hurricane watch put a damper on sales then. Up to 8,000 patrons are expected to participate this year. The venue, the historic cricket grounds at Sabina Park. Supporters have spent anywhere between $40 to $3,350 to attend, with some categories of tickets sold out days before the event. But Mr. Bellamy says it's not just about the patrons.
For this festival alone, we have had in excess of 500 people directly just to coordinate all of this stuff, from the production, the creative side, the security side, the human resource side. We have invested heavily not only in just suppliers and production people and the experience that you can see, the build out, but in the communities that are here, because a lot of people actually playing a part in the build out right now.
The Housing Development Corporation, HDC, has appointed 3 general managers and boards to 3 subsidiary state enterprises created to propel the organization to be more efficient. In an advertisement published in the Sunday Guardian newspaper, the HDC says this was as a result of a cabinet decision made on the 25th of August, 2022.
According to the ad in today's Sunday Guardian, the Housing Development Corporation is transforming to serve you. As per a cabinet decision made in August 2022, 3 limited liability companies will be created. They are Construction Company Limited, whose general manager is Romel Ramarak and will have a board headed by Newman George, the Asset Management Company, whose general manager is Jeremy Campbell. AMC's chairman is Joanne Diaraj, and the third company is the Facilities and Estate Management Company Limited, FEMCOL, with Wesley George as the general manager and Keston McQuilkin as chair. The idea was first floated by Finance Minister Colum Imbers in Budget 2022 and again in Budget 2023.
To summarize, we are creating a company that will focus on construction of housing units, another company that will focus on maintenance and management of existing rental housing units, and a third company that will focus on completing the sales of finished housing units.
With the establishment of HDC's 3 state companies and the incoming merger of the Home Mortgage Bank and the Trinidad and Tobago Mortgage Finance Company Limited, the TTMF, the government is seeking to make housing more accessible and affordable. The Guardian understands that documents for the merger were proposed over 10 years ago and formally approved since 2021, and they're now before the Finance Minister.
A review conducted by the Guyana Prison Service following the escape of notorious convicted murderer Mark Royden Williams, also known as Smalley, has led to improvements in determining the best locations for prisoners and their level of interaction with the public. Home Affairs Minister Robson Ben provided this information. We get more in this HGP TV report.
During a sideline interview at an exhibition activity held for Prison Service Week, Minister of Home Affairs Robson Ben spoke to the review that was being done within the prison system. The review in question was carried out after known criminal Mark Royden Williams, popularly known as Smalley, escaped the Mazaruni prison in May.
Review has been done within the prison system with ourselves as to what resorts we have to, particularly in relation to where people ought to be kept and what interfacing that they would have with members of the public.
The maintenance of the standard operation procedures, SOPs, discipline and order are among other things that Ben noted should be reviewed.
In the system, we cannot relax, that we have to be constantly vigilant with respect to certain persons in the prison system. And I am glad indeed somehow that the episode that we had that experience with Ryden Williams was dealt with appropriately.
Ben also made mention of the challenges in relation to the number of persons who are willing to work in the prison system.
I think it has been an area which people normally don't want to get involved with without understanding the work of the prison system itself.
Smalley escaped from the Mazaroni prison, a maximum security facility, following an exchange of gunfire with prison officers. The death row inmate escaped with the aid of heavily armed accomplices in a speedboat while he was being escorted back to his quarters following a visit. A total of 6 persons, including a superintendent of prisons and his second-in-command, were charged with conspiracy to facilitate an escape. According to Ben, the position of the officers that were charged has since been filled. 2 weeks after his escape, police reported that Smalley and an accomplice were killed during a confrontation with police during a joint service operation at 33 miles in Region 7.
The St. Lucia Cancer Society is aiming to inform the public about its comprehensive cancer awareness programs planned throughout the year. The society conducted a press conference to outline programs to reduce cancer cases in St. Lucia. More in this HTS report.
The St. Lucia Cancer Society, SLCS, has launched a comprehensive cancer awareness program for the year, emphasizing the importance of early screening and treatment.
We have made some progress, I think, as a nation in terms of getting people to go and get tested. Yeah? So more and more people, as much as we still have a long way to go, are going to their doctors. They may not be touching their breast or touching anywhere else themselves, but they're going to get tested. More people are getting their mammograms done, and so we're picking up cancers. I think that there is the biggest area where we're not making the biggest advances is from that point.
Dr. Tamara Remy, president of the SLCS, acknowledged some progress in fighting cancer rates, but noted the financial burden of treatment that hinders patients from adequately fighting the disease.
So, because it costs money. Cancer is one of those that once you're diagnosed, you have to have the money now for now. Diabetes and high blood pressure, every month you can take out a few $100 to pay for the tablets, and yeah. Cancer, you get diagnosed, you're faced with an invoice that you have to have these treatments, you have to have these tests, you have to pay for a biopsy needle, you have to pay to get a CT scan done so we can stage you, you have to pay for chemotherapy, you have to pay for, it's like now for now, because if you do not start, cancer continues, right? So that is the area, not that we don't have chemotherapy. The patients may not have the funds to pay for the chemotherapy. Those patients, because they're advanced, some of them, will also have to have radiation, which is not available here. It's available in select places in the Caribbean, and it costs you anywhere from $8,000 US to $20,000 US.
Delays negatively impact the survival rate of patients. Raisa Joseph, executive director of the Folk Research Center, also expressed support for the Society's cancer awareness initiatives and the need for collective action to combat the disease.
We want to applaud the Cancer Society for their work in terms of educating the St. Lucian public on their health, and in addition, in this particular iteration, the awareness and consciousness to speak to the St. Lucians in both English and in Creole.
Well, the leading contenders in Argentina's presidential race sparred during the campaign's first debate on Sunday, exchanging criticisms about the responsibility for the recent economic crises and strategies to overcome years of economic hardship. We get more in this Al Jazeera report.
Argentina's presidential candidates attempt a last push ahead of October's presidential elections. 5 candidates from the left to the far right. But there are 3 with real chances of winning. Economy Minister Sergio Massa promising to reduce the double-digit inflation rate that his government has been unable to tackle. Former Security Minister Patricia Bullrich vowing to organize the economy. And far-right candidate Javier Milei, who wants to shut down the central bank and dollarize the economy.
Argentina is in decadence, and if we continue like this, we are going to be the biggest slum in the world. Argentina started being the richest country in the world. Now we are among the poorest. We have more than 40% of poverty. 10% are extremely poor, and inflation is out of control.
Milei tried to look composed and serious, unlike his latest appearances, where he showed up with a chainsaw. Argentina has one of the highest inflation rates in the world. Sergio Massa asked for forgiveness for the economic situation and blamed the International Monetary Fund.
Argentina inherited a criminal agreement with the International Monetary Fund that generates inflation, and 4 months ago we were able to renegotiate, and this is what allowed us to reduce taxes.
Massa is promising a national accord to get the country out of the crisis, but Patricia Bullrich from the center-right said people in Argentina are on the edge and need order and stability.
Massa explained to the Argentinians how being the worst minister of economy, you can be a good president. How can you be 2 persons and have so much cynicism? You imposed 40 taxes, you did everything wrong, doubles the inflation rate, the exchange rate.
The focus was on the 2 candidates that polls suggest could make it to the second round in November. Sergio Massa and Javier Milei, who blamed all the politicians for what he called Argentina's economic disaster. This was the first of 2 debates ahead of the elections on October 22nd.
Argentina is in the middle of a deep economic crisis, and there's lots of anxiety about who this country's next president is going to be. And while there are many who are hoping for radical change, there are many others who fear what that change could bring about.
Anti-corruption investigators in Kenya have recovered stolen islands in a nature reserve in the Indian Ocean. 3 companies are now facing possible court proceedings for land grabbing, and 2 have agreed to hand over the illegally acquired land titles for the islands. Kenya's Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission valued the islands at $2 million. Again, we get more from Al Jazeera.
Off the coast of Kenya, in the Indian Ocean, lie unique ecological treasures. Some in the sea and others on islands, 3 of which were nearly lost to developers. John Wambua is in charge of the coast area for Kenya's Wildlife Service, which is the lawful owner of the islands.
I think that's corruption or the grabbers. I think they have their ways of doing that, which is not permissible by the government. And of course, because the government has its own mechanisms, now they were able to recover the islands from the grabbers.
The surrounding waters of the Kisite Mpunguti Marine Reserve provide sanctuary for more than 200 dolphins. It's been protected by law since the 1970s. Below the surface are endangered sea turtles and coral gardens that are breeding grounds for hundreds of species of fish. John says if hotels had been built on the islands, it would have been an ecological disaster. Some speculators acquired irregular titles for them in the 1990s amid a series of corruption scandals. Later, the illegal titles were bought by companies owned by foreigners. In spite of the islands clearly being in a nature reserve, some of them sued the Wildlife Service, seeking to build an airstrip here. They lost the case and drew the attention of the authorities. The investigators say because it's completely out of sight of the mainland, but accessible in small boats and possibly light aircraft, that it's the perfect location for criminal activity such as drug smuggling. And they say that one of the companies still holds a title for this island and has refused to hand it over. The investigators say they'll now take the company to court. The others agreed to hand over their titles after being investigated by Kenya's Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission.
Case was filed.
Abdi Mohammed spent decades recovering all kinds of public property for the government, but he says it's the first time he's ever recovered islands.
People will try to do all manner of things, and we are not saying we will finish, or rather completely finish corruption in Kenya. What we are saying is let's do our bit to ensure we reduce whatever percentage. Even if we reduce it by 10%, good enough.
The companies who handed over the titles won't face charges. For now, the islands have at least been spared from illegal development.
It's time now to preview what's coming up on Morning Barbados. We're going to tell you today about the Rotary Club of Barbados and their NCD screening and literary project. Also, a 15-day challenge that's challenging us to get healthy. Plus, we give you more about the SOAR experience that's empowering kingdom businesses. And we're going to be talking about the Pan Am Games. And to close it all out, we're going to share more with you on the conference on values education that's coming up October 12th to 14th. That's all at 6:30, but next we have more news, sports, and weather. Stay with us.
Hey, not only grown-ups can sing, we can too.
So easy on me, baby. I was still a child, didn't get the chance to.
CBC TV 8 is having a kids karaoke show just for us. So children between the ages of 5 to 17 comment and join in for fun. Email Nadia Foster at nfoster@cbc.bb. Hear you soon. Bye.
Disaster and emergency officials believe an assessment will have to be done to determine the safety of an area of land at Bush Hall Yard Gaps in Michael. This after a large tree collapsed into a sinkhole in that area.
This tree sinking into a hole at Bush Hall Yard Gaps at Michael is what alerted people who live in the area that something was wrong. One resident has had to be relocated as officials conduct their preliminary investigations.
And the area is also a residential house just to the east, just to the west of that sink, and it has caused fissures to the property as well. We have since then evacuated the occupant, and we are in the process of securing housing for that individual. At present, we are conducting assessments to determine the extent of the hollows that we are noticing as a result of the collapse. We have one that is trending in the southeastern direction and one that is tending in the southwestern direction.
The hydrologist with the Ministry of the Environment, Nigel Jones, said he had recommended the tree be removed, but the COVID pandemic intervened.
I had actually toured the cave, and I recognized that the root system was actually in the cave, and it was only a matter of time before it collapsed.
Officials have established a perimeter from the center of the collapse to keep large vehicles from making the situation worse.
I believe that a thorough assessment would have to be made of the area. It is my understanding that the area is replete with caves, as Barbados is, being the type of place that it is. But an assessment will have to be done, especially for the properties that are in the vicinity of this collapse, to determine their level of safety, so that those persons who occupy those properties will operate in a safe manner.
Deputy Chief Fire Officer Henderson Patrick says part of the assessment will involve the use of drone technology, and they will be working with the Barbados Police Service to identify areas of concern. He says access to the area will now have to be managed as they work to trim and remove the tree. Sean Farrell, CBC News.
Thanks, Sean. With 2023 being the year of the youth, Minister of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment Charles Griffith says government has placed specific focus on young people. Several programs have been undertaken and others planned. Come next week, a national consultation on youth will be staged where officials will hear from young Barbadians on issues of concern. There are also plans to restart a national survey to gather information from Barbadians aged 16 to 29. Mr. Griffith made the revelations during the latest parliamentary reform town meeting.
The youth voice is important to government, and through my ministry, we're doing every single thing that is necessary to ensure that we have best results. You mentioned, I'm coming to you, you mentioned a separation. We have the Community Development Department that is responsible for things at community level. The sports is being taken care of by the National Sports Council. So I'm saying to you that yes, in an ideal world, you might want the separation, but at this particular point in time, not only because I'm the minister, but I'm suggesting to you that government is doing what it is supposed to do in relation to identifying the needs and supporting all of our young people on island.
In sports, the Barbados Netball Association has resolved an issue surrounding some junior national players and their participation in the Under-21 community tournament, which started on Saturday. CBC Sports understands the players were being forced to choose between the competition and national training, which were clashing on the same day. Players who did not turn up for the national practice were being marked as absent, which resulted in a northern team forfeiting their first-round match. BNA President Dr. Carmita Douglin has cleared the air.
It was kind of stated that the players were allowed to play, but if they didn't come to practice, they would be marked absent.
Right.
So we dealt with it at the board level, and what the coach stated quite clearly to us is that he will not have any practice on those evenings when the tournament is being played. Okay. So now the problem has been solved. There's no misunderstanding.
Right.
But really and truly, we want all of those under 16 players to take part in, to represent their parishes.
It's time now to take a look at the weather. The barometric pressure stands at 1008.4 millibars. It's a warm 28.6 degrees Celsius already. Relative humidity is at 79%, and the winds are blowing out of the south-southeast at 28 kilometers per hour. Present weather, cloudy with slight haze. Sea conditions for Barbados, moderate in open water with northerly swells ranging from 1 to 2 meters. Small craft operators and sea bathers should exercise caution, especially along the southern and western coastlines. It's recommended that sea bathers use beaches that have on-duty lifeguards. Here's a look at how the tides roll in today. Just be careful as you head on out for your sea baths. And if you see red flags, it means no swimming. It's a mix of sunshine and clouds early today with a few scattered light showers. As we move into the evening period, you can expect a mix of clear skies and clouds with a few scattered light showers as well. That's today's morning report. Our next newscast is Newsday at 12 noon on TV8, followed by The World at 1 via our radio network of stations on 100.7 FM, 98.1 The One, and 94.7 FM. Morning Barbados is next.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Good morning to you indeed. Welcome to another Morning Barbados presentation. It's Tuesday, October 3rd. I'm Tisha Hines. I'll be in with you until 8 o'clock this morning. And boy, do we have a good show planned for you. We're going to have a good time. Yesterday was very interesting weather-wise. We had some showers and lightning and thunder. Oh, my. Yeah, but it cooled the place down nicely. And I know you had just as much fun as I did cruising Instagram and possibly Facebook, if you do Facebook, with all the jokes. Barbadian definitely funny people. So we're going to have a good time over the next hour and a half or so, sharing a lot with you about many things. We're going to update you as we go along. But as we do on Tuesdays, we start with conversations on CARICOM. And last week, we left our conversation somewhat up in the air as we started taking a look back at what was just concluded UN General Assembly and all that had happened at the Assembly. So let's go right ahead and welcome Ambassador David Comichong back as we continue that conversation this morning and continue our look at Prime Minister Mia Moore-Motley's presentations at that particular presentation. We had started and shared a few. However, today we're going to pay particular attention to the Haiti crisis as well as what's happening in Venezuela. So those are just a few of the things that we will be looking at. Good morning to you, Ambassador.
Good morning, Tisha. Pleasure to be here.
All right, good to have you with us.
It's probably good that we didn't get to those extracts last week because they're perhaps even more appropriate for this week. We want to look at what Prime Minister Motley said about the situation in Haiti at the recently concluded United Nations General Assembly debate. And it's very appropriate that we look at it this morning because just yesterday, the United Nations Security Council held a meeting on Haiti and dealt with a matter that Prime Minister Motley spoke about in her speech to the General Assembly about 2 weeks ago. So it'll be interesting to look at that and to discuss what happened yesterday at the Security Council. And then we want to look at Venezuela, yes, but Prime Minister Motley also spoke very much about Cuba. And this coming Friday, we are going to be commemorating the very first CARICOM Cuba Day Against Terrorism. So Prime Minister Motley's address at the UN will set the foundation for us to look at what will happen in Barbados on Friday as we go to the Cubana Monument in Paynes Bay to have this commemoration. But it'd be good for us to start with Haiti and that extract from PM Motley's speech to the UN General Assembly.
There are too many examples where we fall short. And I speak specifically now first and foremost about Haiti. The world owes Haiti a resolution. It is not a matter of options. The world owes Haiti a resolution. A year ago, we knew that the gas riots had led to serious instability. And 12 months later, we cannot get out of this building and into the support that the people of Haiti need. There is no doubt a need for legitimacy with respect to the government of Haiti, and therefore a national unity government may well be the only bridge that can carry us to safety. The Caribbean community has appointed 3 former prime ministers as an eminent persons group. And as we heard the Secretary General say in this hall, politics is the art of compromise. Diplomacy is the art of compromise. I say simply to those who act in the name of the people of Haiti, there must be compromise in constituting that government of national unity if we are to provide the bridge, to provide the security, to stop women from being raped, stop people from being killed, stop people from being affected by cholera and other public health diseases. But even when we put in the institutional support that Haiti may need, and I want to thank the governments of Kenya and Rwanda, who from as far back as 12 months ago committed to being able to provide the kind of institutional support and leadership that the Haitian police need. But as they did that commitment, what they have not necessarily accounted for is the continued reduction in the numbers of the police, largely because of persons fleeing to lands of greater opportunity and being facilitated in so doing. This cannot wait much longer, and I hope that those who constitute the members of the Security Council will recognize that they cannot use Haiti as a pawn because they have suffered for too long and by the hands of too many.
It says a great deal when we appear in fora like this one that Prime Minister Motley would give, such a portion of her time to talking about what's happening in Haiti. And as you mentioned, it has been impactful.
Yes, she ended by making an appeal to the United Nations Security Council to deal with the issue of Haiti and not permit global geopolitics. Because, the 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council are the US, UK, and France on the western side, and Russia and China. And quite often there's a conflict, political conflict between these 5 permanent members. And any one of those 5 permanent members can veto a UN resolution. So in order to get a resolution on Haiti, all 5 of those permanent members would have to agree, at least agree not to veto it. And that is precisely what happened yesterday. A resolution went before the Security Council yesterday, authorizing the member states of the UN to mount a security support mission, a multinational security support mission that would be led by a lead country, and the lead country that has come forward is Kenya. And there are 15 members of the Security Council, 5 permanent, 10 non-permanent. 13 members voted for the resolution, and Russia and China, while they didn't vote for the resolution, they did not veto it. They did not vote against it. They abstained, and so the resolution passed. And it's important to note that some of the countries that voted for it were, for example, the Africa 3, the 3 members of the Security Council that represent Africa. They voted for it. Brazil, for example. And so, yes, and the reason why this UN resolution, Security Council resolution, was so important is because the government in place in Haiti has a real legitimacy problem. And we, it goes back to President Moïse and he being assassinated before he could appoint the guy who is now acting prime minister. And so there's a real legitimacy problem. So countries were saying, look, this government is asking us to come in and help bolster the national police. But before we can do that, we really need a resolution, an authorization from the United Nations Security Council. And Barbados has said, and CARICOM countries have said, if the United Nations Security Council approves such a mission, then we Barbados, Jamaica, Bahamas, Antigua and Barbuda, we will be prepared to send some security personnel to support the Kenyan personnel. Kenya has said it will send 1,000 police officers. So we now have that UN Security Council resolution, and we will see what will happen from here. But what is likely to happen from here is that the mission will go ahead. But you would have heard Prime Minister Motley stress that it is critical that a government of national unity, a transition government of national unity be established in Haiti, because the problem in Haiti, there's still a serious political problem where you have a de facto government that many persons in Haiti are saying is not a legitimate government. Everybody agrees that there needs to be some kind of transitional administration that will lead Haiti towards new elections, that the people could really, elect their real government. But there has to be that transition period. Who is to lead that transition administration? This is where the problem is coming in. Some people are saying, look, we want the transition administration, but we don't want to work with the existing de facto administration. And CARICOM has set up a group of eminent persons, 3 former prime ministers, who are currently meeting with all of the Haitian stakeholders, the de facto government plus the civil society and opposition people, and trying to get them all to compromise and to come together in some kind of national unity administration. And Prime Minister Motley is saying, look, this is going to be essential, because even if personnel are coming into Haiti to help the Haitian police, if you're coming into a divided society where one sector of the society is welcoming the people coming in, but another sector of the society is opposing it, that is going to be problematical.
Absolutely. So we've used up the time again before we've gotten to the next clip that we wanted to get to about the injustices meted out to Cuba and Venezuela. So let's get to that clip quickly so that we can round out the appearance of the Prime Minister at the UN General Assembly.
We could perhaps just deal with the Cuba aspect of it and cut there, because that is most important this week.
Okay, so let's take in a little bit of that clip, the first part of it, which is in reference to Cuba.
I return now to the issue of Cuba. That Cuba can help so many in this world and yet be the continued victim of a blockade of over 60 years, but worse than that, a designation as a state sponsor of terrorism is wrong, wrong, wrong. We left Cuba last week, and what the people of Cuba are being asked to face on a daily basis because of a designation by a dying presidency is wrong. And the voices of the global community, many of whom have been the beneficiaries of Cuban assistance, need to stand united and to be able to say that we cannot fight these battles when we need all hands on deck to save the planet.
Yes, yes. So that is Prime Minister Motley speaking about this terrible, terrible injustice that has been inflicted on Cuba for 60 years now. This blockade, and then to compound it in the dying days of President Trump's administration, after he had been voted out of office, in the dying days, he placed Cuba on the US State Department's list of countries that support terrorism, and which is so ludicrous because Cuba has actually been perhaps the chief victim of terrorism. And one of the countries that have been involved in facilitating terrorism against Cuba is the said United States of America. And we in Barbados know this only too well, because on the 6th of October 1976, a Cuban civilian airliner, 73 passengers on board, Cubans, but also Guyanese and North Koreans, was blown out of the skies in the territorial space of Barbados. And every year we commemorate that Cubana tragedy. And so this year, on Friday of this week, we will be at the Cubana Monument in Paynes Bay, 9 o'clock in the morning, where we will have our annual commemoration. It will be the government of Barbados, the ambassador of Cuba, the ambassador of Guyana, and a representative of CARICOM, because this year, remember, in December of last year, at the CARICOM Cuba Summit, the heads of government of CARICOM and Cuba made a decision to designate the 6th of October as CARICOM Cuba Day Against Terrorism. So this will be our first commemoration of the CARICOM Cuba Day Against Terrorism. And we will be reflecting on that terrorist tragedy of 1976, but also using the occasion to call for Cuba to be removed from that ridiculous positioning on the U.S. State Department's list of state sponsors of terrorism.
All right, so we definitely look forward to what's coming up on Friday at the monument, as we've been commemorating in years past, but with a difference this time around. Thank you, as always, Ambassador, for sharing with us. Certainly a great review of the Prime Minister's showing at the UN General Assembly this time around.
Thank you. Yes, Tisha, yes. She continues to make us all proud. And thank you. I'll see you again next week.
All right, see you next week, Ambassador. All right, coming up, we are going to be talking with the Rotary Club of Barbados as we look at embarking on the NCD screening and literary project. That's next.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
For the past 19 years, QFM has been sharing with you, learning from you, and together building a community for all mature audiences. That's why we say Q is good for you. To our Q family, we say thank you for staying connected to Q 100.7 FM. QFM is a station of the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation. CBC, celebrating 60, connecting Barbadian communities.
Are you a youth group, 4-H club, school, Cub Scout or Brownie Pack, or any organization or club with children ages 4 to 11 years? If yes is the answer, then we at Fun School, we're looking for you. Let's have fun singing, dancing, listening to amazing stories, doing craft, and so much more. I'm such a kid at heart. But to be part of this fun and exciting new season of Fun School, just simply send an email to Alicia Alves Grant at aagrant@cbc.bb for further details. Fun School is
morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Continue to show that every single day in all they do, and in particular with the many programs they undertake to benefit communities, not only here in Barbados, but indeed around the world. Let's go ahead and welcome Ermin de Francis, President of Rotary Club of Barbados, and Dr. Arthur Phillips, Senior Medical Officer of Health, Ministry of Health, to the program. Good morning. Good to have you with us.
Good morning.
Good
morning,
to be here.
Tisha. Good morning to your listeners, and a special good morning to my fellow Rotarians and Dr. Phillips.
All right, wonderful. Let's start talking about the NCD screening program. Tell me, what is the Create Hope NCD project?
Well, first of all, I want to say disease prevention is one of the 7 areas of focus for Rotary globally. And this year, our theme is Create Hope in the World. And for us at Rotary Club of Barbados, we have adopted to create hope in our community. So several of our projects for this year is designed around creating hope. The NCD project is set out to raise awareness about the NCD situation in our community, as well as to increase early screening programs and to increase and support health literacy programs, not only to the public, but also make it available to our schools. The project also includes some level of physical activity where we will attempt to encourage everyone we interact with to get involved in some level of physical activity.
Oh, it sounds like a very timely undertaking. A lot of people are most certainly having conversations about that. We should have been for a long time, but it's wonderful we're having conversations. Now, for you, Dr. Phillip, I know that to undertake projects like this, it really calls for a lot of collaborations across the board. So talk to us about your level of involvement.
Sure, thanks. For the NCDs, because the risk factors are cross-cutting, and we're talking about unhealthy diets, harmful use of alcohol, physical inactivity, tobacco use. The drivers of them, their drivers are, many of them, outside of the traditional remit of a healthcare system. And therefore, in order for us to have effective intervention, we need to have partnerships across government and with private partnerships as well as civil society. So we were very grateful, and we're happy for these sorts of opportunities to collaborate. Rotary has a history of devising and executing social projects in a way that is impactful. And therefore, when they reached out to us last year, we said, okay, here is our sense of what the NCD picture looks like in Barbados. Here's our plan. Where do you think you could add value? Where do you think you can fit in? And we've been happy to partner with Rotary as they've developed the project, to share feedback with them and to support them in publicizing and in the rollout more generally. So we're happy for this partnership, and we are happy for the role that Rotary is playing in mobilizing other partners in executing.
All right, now, Madam President, I know that you have a few weeks under your belt in terms of when the project was launched. Tell me about some of what you have to brag about so far, the positives of the programs that you've been able to showcase to date.
Right. Before I move into the outcomes or the impactful outcomes, as you mentioned, partnership, we obviously are very grateful to the Ministry of Health and Wellness for partnering with us. But I need to mention our other partners in the projects, which is Ross University School of Medicine, Surgical Life Inc., Rio Med Limited, Bayview Hospital, the National Sports Council for allowing us to use some of their properties. And then, we recognize that that project requires the support of everyone, and we could not do it alone. And also the local businesses in the communities that we will be carrying out the projects. We want to thank them for their support. But in terms of impactful outcomes, we have just completed the first month, and to date we have touched 4 parishes. And the project continues this month. And what we are saying is persons are very receptive and supporting the projects. They want to get their early screening done. They want to know more. And we are seeing persons from both the male and female population. And that itself is rewarding for us. And the intention is that we can touch all parishes over the next 10 to 12 months.
All right, so very interesting stuff. And that involves a lot of community engagement, getting people to really take control of their health and looking at how that can truly change the outcomes that we're seeing in terms of NCD. So talk to us about where the rubber meets the road, really, and how the project is making that happen.
Yes, I think for us, what we like Dr. Phillips, we have a lot of experience in community work. So when we go into the communities, we want to interact with them. We want to share the information that we have. They get the opportunity to interact with the health providers to tell them more about the NCD situation. They also get the opportunity to know their status and to get the information that they can take the necessary steps at an early stage. And this is very important. So education on your health in terms of your status, know your status, and take the necessary actions at a very, very early stage.
Dr. Phillip, what are some of the areas where you think we can kind of beef up what we're doing within the community, within the confines of projects like this one?
Sure. So I think there's certainly opportunities for projects like this one, where we're helping individuals who may not be aware that they have an NCD or may not be aware of the level of control of their NCD, to be aware and then to be empowered to take action. So certainly projects like this are important, and we are happy to collaborate or advise on projects like this. There are also opportunities to drive at other stages of the NCD development process in terms of promoting physical activity, in terms of promoting healthy diets, whether through education, through provision of tools. So there are a variety of opportunities for civil society groups, for the private sector, for government departments to engage and to enhance the delivery of what happens in terms of NCDs. NCDs are not just a health issue, it's a development issue. We're talking about the fact that there's an impact on a significant proportion of our society in terms of lost productivity, in terms of premature death. And therefore, to the extent that we are able to reverse this, and we need all of the society involved to get it effectively done, we will continue to advance more rapidly as a society in terms of our development. So we're grateful for the partnership with Rotary. We're excited about the first month and for the future.
And finally, Madam President, if there are any organizations or individuals alike who would like to get involved with the project, tell us how we can.
Yes, I think for organizations and other individuals, the ability to influence others to get themselves checked, to get involved in some level of activity, I think that is key for us. It will help us to raise awareness and increase advocacy. So we are encouraging the public to join us on that mission. Our Let's Get Moving activity, our next meet is at the Garrison, Savannah on October 18th, Wednesday, October 18th from 5 p.m. So we're encouraging the public to join us as we attempt to push physical activity. And our next early screening program is on Wednesday in Dover, Christchurch. So please, we are encouraging everyone. We are providing free health screening. Join us at Dover on Wednesday from 8 a.m.
Talk to us, Madam President, before you run off about what the response has been like so far, because it's one thing to put on events like this, and then another thing to see how people actually, or if they get involved, and whether we're truly reaching them.
Yes, for sure. I think we actually were quite pleased with the response we have received to date. We are getting support from community groups, from church groups, as well as Corporate Barbados. And the aim of the project is really to reach the vulnerable communities. And we believe, based on our locations and where we expect to conduct the early screening, we will be able to reach as many people as possible. And we also using social media, and with the support of media houses, we are able to reach even more persons in our community.
Dr. Phillip, based on what you see every day in the ministry as you go about engaging with Barbadians, are we taking NCDs as seriously as we really should?
I think that there's sort of two perspectives. One is there is a lot more awareness and a lot more enthusiasm around addressing the problem from whichever perspective. So I think that's important. But yes, there is more that can be done, and we are excited about the fact that agencies like Rotary and across government departments, you have NCD-related initiatives that are raising awareness, that are addressing health needs. So yes, there's more to be done. There is more being done. So we continue to press forward in the battle in addressing NCDs.
All right, fantastic initiative, the NCD Screening and Literary Project. Now, of course, the president was telling you about the next event, which is coming up on Wednesday. We want to make sure we leave everyone with clear information so that we know how we can get out and be a part of it. You said it's going to be at the Garrison.
No, this Wednesday we will be at Dover, Christchurch, right in the National Sports Council building from 8 a.m. Get there early, register, and complete your free health checks. On the 18th, we will be at the Garrison Savannah with our physical activities. Also, for the rest of October, we intend to visit Checker Hall, St. Lucie, We will be in St. Lucie. Let me just get the date right. St. Lucie, we are coming to you on the 16th. But before that, on the 9th, we will be at Bridgefield, St. Thomas. And on the 23rd, we'll be back in St. Michael. So please follow our social media pages to get up to date at Rotary Barbados, Rotary Club of Barbados. And you can also send us an email, rotarybarbados@gmail.com, to get more information on our program.
All right, I definitely going to make sure that I follow the social media pages so that we can share more. Thank you both for coming on and sharing with us. Dr. Arthur Phillips, Senior Medical Officer of Health with the Ministry of Health, and Ermin Duro Francis, President of the Rotary Club of Barbados. All the best on the project, and you must come back and let us know how the screenings are going.
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to talk about our project. Thank you, Dr. Phillips.
Thank you.
And thank you both for your time. We're going to take another break and come on back here on Morning Barbados. There's so much to get to today, so you don't want to leave us. Make sure you stick around, because coming up next, we're telling you more as we continue talking about health and wellness. We're telling you about a 15-day challenge. That's next.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Are you a youth group, 4-H club, school, Cub Scout, or Brownie Pack, or any organization or club with children ages 4 to 11 years? If yes is the answer, then we at Fun School, we're looking for you. Let's have fun singing, dancing, listening to amazing stories, doing craft, and so much more. I'm such a kid at heart. But to be part of this fun and exciting new season of Fun School, just simply send an email to Alicia Alves Grant at aagrant@cbc.bb for further details. Fun School is back, and we're looking for you.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
8.5 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Tuesday morning. It's warm again today, people. If you thought we were going to have 2 days of cool in a row, you are absolutely wrong. It's already warm outside, and I mean real warm. When I was stepped out through the door this morning, I was thinking, my goodness, I thought it would have been a little bit cooler, but no complaints, no complaints. So I promise you that we're going to talk about the 15-day challenge. As I understand it, it's an online challenge. Now, I have a few people who know much more about it to tell us. Sonia Sullivan is the coordinator of the Barbados 15-Day Challenge, and she's also a registered nurse. And Marcia Graham is the with the Barbados 15-Day Challenge, as well as Nikisha Codrington. They're here to talk more about it. So good morning, ladies. Good to have you with us.
Good morning. Great to be with you.
Of course, I would have preferred to have you in studio, and I'm going to spank Marcia because she knows she's supposed to come and sit here on the couch. Anyways, so let's talk about it. I'm going to start with you, Sonia, because you're the coordinator. Tell us about this 15-day challenge, and everybody's wearing their shirts. I'm the odd one out. Remember Sesame Street used to go, 3 of these things belong together. 3 of these things are kind of the same. But one of these things is doing its own thing. That's me.
We're going to get you color-coded with us.
All right. So tell us.
Good morning, Barbados.
Good morning.
I'm super excited, especially when I listen to the previous presenters. We're so in alignment this morning in terms of reducing chronic diseases, NCDs in Barbados. So, I'm really pumped up. So the 15-day challenge basically is a challenge that it's based in the USA. We are a part of a health and wellness company in the USA that focus not only on having good healthy supplements, but also in terms of making sure that we are in the best health. So I was a beneficiary, or should I say I am a beneficiary of that challenge, I met an amazing young lady in the USA called Sierra O'Brien, who is now my health and wellness coach. And she introduced me to this business, or rather, this amazing group. So, because of the results that I have seen people getting, and because it not only focus on eating healthy, it works on the mind, body, and spirit. So I've seen people, like lose weight. I've seen people eating healthier. I've seen people having more positive mindsets. So I started the community right here in Barbados, and the results were amazing. Only last night, Marcy and myself, we were on the what we call our checkout Zoom, because as it states, it is a 15-day challenge, but it allows you to reset and get yourself on a good health check 15 days at a time. So we come together, and what I love about it is that it is virtual, but we also have a Saturday morning session where we meet on Browns Beach and work out together as a group. But we also have participants different parts in the world. So we have people in Tortola that's doing the challenge with us, people in the USA that's doing the challenge with us. And that's the amazing thing. Some people may say, I don't have the time to leave home to get with a group. We do it on Zoom, we meet, we chat. It is really super amazing, Tish.
Oh, that's wonderful. Quite a mouthful. And I know, Marcia, staying healthy has always been close to your heart. So I'm sure it wasn't difficult to convince you to be a part of this.
That's so true. I listened to the previous speaker talk about the NCDs, and that is exactly where I was. And I said to myself, you are out there helping so many people to be better at what they do. And look at where your body is. When I had my annual checkup, my numbers for cholesterol and for the sugar were really where they were not supposed to be. So my doctor sat me down and he said, you're a sensible, intelligent lady, and I am going to let us work together on this before I put you on medication. And so I started that journey with my doctor, and I just happened to see the 15-day challenge in a group chat to which I belong. So I called to find out exactly what they were doing, and I thought, well, it's free, it's virtual, I don't have to leave home because I am out of the house so much already. So I called up and I signed up, and it is amazing. The first thing that I did was to change the way I ate. So I took out a lot of the starches and the sugars and included more fruits and vegetables. And of course, water was not my favorite friend. So I was able over time to increase my water intake from 32 ounces a day to 64 ounces a day. Now I'm up to 90 ounces a day. So the water intake has helped really tremendously. So we've done the diet, we've done the water intake, increased the water intake, and then we exercise. Again, it's on Zoom. You log in and you follow the leader. We exercise for half an hour at a time, and by the time you're finished, you're sweating. And so every night we do it, sometimes 5 nights a week. We are able to come together as a group and exercise. And then we do a lot of the motivational videos, the mind, the spirit, and the body. We motivate ourselves. And the one thing that I have continued to do is to beat the sun up. I get up early. By 4 o'clock on mornings, I am wide awake, full of life, full of energy, and ready to hit the world. And that is one of the benefits that has come from the 15-day challenge.
Wow, now Marcia, I'm sure you beat the sun up, but you don't beat the heat up. Not in these times. I want to get Nikisha in because, if we're honest, she's a whole other, she's a whole other age group. So I want to talk about the involvement because then it speaks to the appeal of the 15-day challenge across the board. So it's not only people of a certain age who might be looking a little bit more about at their health and how they should eat and their spirituality and how they should approach just health generally, but it's something for people of all ages. Yes, Nikisha?
Yes, it is.
So tell me about your involvement.
Yes, it is. I am 33 years old, and when I did my first 15-day challenge, I was not one that was interested in improving my health. I was the girl that ate a lot of fast food. I drank all the sodas. But when I did my 15-day challenge, it taught me the importance of my diet. It also taught me the importance of drinking my 64 ounce of water because I was one that would take to work one bottle of water, 32 ounce, and I never could have gotten the entire bottle drank. So after I learned the importance of drinking 64 ounces of water, I then started to master that as well as my workout. Now we know that it's easy to say I want to work out, but once you do not have that motivation or accountability team, you find it very, very hard. So being in the 15-day challenge, there are various age range. But what I love most about it is that everyone is on the same goals, whether it's to lose weight, whether it's to gain. So it's not only about losing, but some people want to also gain. So you have different varieties as well as the encouragement that you get because we know that every day is not always going to be the same day, but we all love on each other and it's a no judgment zone. We don't criticize, we don't hate, we just love, motivate, and encourage each other to be the best version of themselves.
All right, that's truly excellent. And it's great. You ladies are giving testimonials about how all of this is changing your outlook, changing your everyday lives, and I absolutely hear you. Truly is motivational. So tell us, Sonia, how can we get involved? You talked about it being fully online and there being support systems as well. So how can we become a part of this 15-day challenge?
Right. So it is very, very easy to be a part of the 15-day challenge. One, you can contact me at telephone number 241-1675. There's a flyer going right now on my Instagram page at the moment, which is nurse_Sonia Sullivan. So you can go to that page. There's a link in the bio as well that you can register to be a part of the 15-day challenge group. Outside of that, you can find Marcia. You can give your telephone number as well, or Nikisha. Anybody can be a part of the 15-day challenge. So allow them to share their numbers as well with you since they're on here with me. And as we said before, it's totally free. So there's no cost attached. All we want you to do is to say yes. We bring you into the community, and the rest is history, mind, body, and spirit.
Now, when I heard about the 15-day challenge, I thought there was a timeline on it. So you'd have to get in by a certain time. But you said it's cyclical. So once you go through, it's like going in 15-day cycles. So I love that. So you can jump in at any time and just start your 15-day cycle, which is a good thing, Marcia.
Yes, it is. So you can come in. We're starting a new group on Monday, this Monday coming. So you can go to Sonia's page.
Jade.
You can call me.
Jade.
237-7049. That is 237-7049. And we can link up and we will be so happy. More love in the group, more persons getting healthy.
All right, excellent. Nikisha, tell us why you would like to encourage people, particularly younger people who, just like you, might be having a lot of soda and stuff like that. Tell us why you encourage them to be a part of the challenge, or go ahead and do it and challenge all of your friends and neighbors and relatives and old schoolmates and stuff to get on board.
I would encourage anyone, even at my age or even younger, to do this challenge because it is amazing. I always say my health is my wealth. I rather work on it now than have to pay for it later. As well as it's fun. You don't have to work out, don't have to do anything alone. We work together as a team. So no man left behind.
Absolutely. And I love that. One of you, I can't remember which one, mentioned the accountability factor. I think it was you, Nikisha, because that's really, really important. On that note, I have to say a special good morning to my sister who is visiting, Jackie, and she holds herself accountable by going to a group where she has to weigh in every Saturday morning. So, she, even though she often says, I'm waiting until after my weigh-in to have some cake. Because then she has an entire week to work it off again. Sorry, Jackie, put your information in the road. But I absolutely love the 15-day challenge, and I think it's a great initiative. I love that you guys are wearing the branded shirts. I can see that you're very gung-ho about it, and I hope that a lot of people truly come on board and be a part of it. So final word for you, Ms. Coordinator, in getting people on board. What would you say to someone who might be thinking, I'm too far gone? I love that Marcia said her doctor told her, these numbers are not where they should be. Let's work on bringing them down before I put you on medication, because we don't hear that story a lot. But I think that's where we need to be, to let people know they can, in fact, do something about it.
Lovely. So yes, Tisha, anyone can be a part of the 15-day challenge. We are starting a new challenge on October 9th, which is next Monday. So you're early for that. And here's the thing, we do not focus on the scale at all. So we don't ask for weigh-ins, but here's the thing, that's the trick, because we celebrate scale victories as well as non-scale victories, because we don't want anybody to come in and feel, oh, I didn't lose weight, because sometimes you lose inches before you lose pounds. So once we get you into the community and we do check-ins like twice a week, and here's the thing, we hear about the weight loss, we hear about the inches, we hear about the sleeping better, we hear about the feeling better, we hear about the motivation to work out. So guys, that's the trick. So again, my number is 241-1675, or you can go on my IG page, nurse_Sonia Sullivan. The flyer is there as well, and you can register easy like that. No
All right.
cost attached.
Good stuff. I want to thank you ladies for coming on. Sonia Sullivan, the coordinator, Marcia Graham, and Nikisha Codrington of the Barbados 15-day challenge, starting something new next Monday. So jump on board. Who knows? I might take the challenge, Marcia.
Yes, we will be welcome. We would welcome you.
I know you would. You're always looking at ways to make me work hard, Marcia.
Yes. And this time it's for yourself, Tisha.
Absolutely. I don't mind. Absolutely. So thank you again. Have a great day and have a good week ahead. Stay cool, because I know Marcia says she's beating the sun, but I know you're not beating the heat.
That's okay. We this is for a season only.
Yeah. As you guys can see, I'm just fretting Marcia. Yeah.
Yes.
Just to engage a whole lot more in a former life.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Well, have a great one. Lovely to speak with you today.
Thank you so much for having us.
And thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that was
Thank
so
you.
fun.
Have a good day, everyone.
Blessings on you, Tisha. Blessings on Barbados.
Okay, bye.
Yes.
7:25. 15-day challenge. A new one is starting on Monday, October 9th. How about that? We should do it together. Let's sign up. Let's talk about it, and we can discuss how it goes. I'll share with you, and you can share with me. Good stuff. We're going to take another break. When we come back, we are telling you all about the soar experience. We're taking you soaring and telling you how kingdom businesses can do better. They're interacting with people all across the world. We're going to tell you more next.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
Oh, hi. My name is Stacia Whitaker, and I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist and a member of the Heart and Stroke Childhood Obesity Prevention Coalition. My motto is, when in doubt, leave it out, and it goes for when I'm eating, because sometimes things have ingredients that we're not sure of, and I like to keep it
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's 7:27 already on this sunshiny day. We had quite a day yesterday, though, with all of that thunder and lightning. I feel the need to say, oh my, every time I say that. But it was interesting. And then I have to say good morning to everybody at the Met Office. Mr. Sabu Best, you are a superstar. He put that WhatsApp message out and everybody was sending it around. And he sounded like, I'm sorry to say this, the world was coming to an end. He was like, do not go outside. I was thinking, what? The children are at school. Are we going to leave them there? I mean, that was a possibility, but maybe we couldn't. So yeah, I'm going to behave myself now. So we told you that we were going to talk about the prophetic explosion, the SOAR Experience Global Gathering 2023 that's coming up. And we told you a little about it last week. We just had to get back in here and share a lot more about it with you. And joining us again, we have Dr. Vicky Otaragina, and she's brought along Mr. Solomon Otaragina as well. And I've been practicing the name. So, the gentleman doing the assessment, did I get the right? Because you said the is down and not up. Did I get it right?
Yeah, you're coming up.
Oh, I'm coming along. Okay,
yeah,
good morning.
I can rate you like 80%.
80%?
Yes.
That's not a pass in my book, but I'll work on it.
With a Nigerian native name, is a big pass.
All right, that's a good pass. 80%. I got more points than you. Yeah. All right, so good morning and welcome again. Good to have you with us again. So we're talking all about the SOAR Experience Global Gathering 2023, which is a 3-day, fully virtual event.
Yes.
Talk to us about what's at the core of this 3-day event.
Yes, thank you so much. So at the core of the event is the theme, which is handing over the keys to explosive business growth. So it's targeting Kingdom business owners, but any business owner can come, because what is going to happen is that we're not only going to hand you over the technical, the experience, the marketing, the digital and marketing aspect, the legal, the personal branding, all those things we're going to be dealing with. But what is most important is that this gathering is for you to birth. It's for you to develop. It's for you to soar. So any person, you may have an idea, you may have a business that God has given you, you may have a project that He has given you. What you're going to receive in this gathering will not only help you develop that, but it will help you develop your entire being from a spiritual standpoint, from a even mental and emotional, because what we're going to be dealing with on that 3rd day, which is the prophetic explosion, will totally cause your entire life to be transformed. Wherever you are, no matter what level you're at, you're going to be transformed to the level that you're going to see yourself differently. You're going to have a different mindset towards yourself and the business or the idea that you've been given, and you're going to have that push to go forward and just execute what you've been called to do on this earth.
Wonderful. Now I know you guys will be presenting on day 3, and if we talk a little bit now with you, Mr. Solomon, tell me a little bit about your role, because you're going to be dealing specifically, and I believe that you've been called to, in your words, create opportunities of economic growth between Africa and Barbados. So let's hear all about what we can expect on day 3 from you.
All right, thank you so much. It's a pleasure being here this morning. And okay, now when you talk about handing over keys, a lot of people see those words as a puzzle. But on that day, I'm not just going to speak from the aspect or the standpoint of a businessman. I am a prophet by God's grace. So I'm going to speak also based on the standpoint of a prophetic businessman. So now when you talk about keys, we talk about access, we talk about authority, and we talk about domain. So when you have a house and you don't have the keys to the house, you don't have access to the house, you don't have authority over that house, and you don't have a domain, meaning you don't have a home. So I discovered that a lot of business people, especially in the kingdom of God, they do it the wrong way. They don't have the right access, they don't have the right information. So some of them do not succeed, and some do not cross even 1 year. So I've been able, by God's grace, to have some knowledge and understanding to see how we can intermix the knowledge we have and to impact the spiritual giftings into people. Mind you, everybody on earth has a gifting. You have a specialty. And there is a way that God has programmed things to be. So for the fact that this particular business, for instance, now agriculture, is thriving, and somebody who is not a kingdom person is striving with it, doesn't mean I should just go into it. Now, the question is, day 1, day 2, you have all the knowledge, the physical knowledge. What is your empowerment? Everybody on earth is driven by a force. So if you give your heart fully to the kingdom of God, you should have a backing of heaven. So the main purpose of that day 3, where I'm coming in, is to be able to trigger the gift in you. Apostle Paul told Timothy, stir up the gift that is in you. So that means everybody has a gifting that needs to be stirred. So my primary assignment that day is to stir up the gifting, help you have a clarity of the vision. And some of the people, as the Lord will lead me, I'm going to prophesy unto them, and I'm going to give them guidance and direction. Mind you, a prophet is a mouthpiece of God, not just to speak words as you wish to, but you're actually the mouthpiece of God. Secondly, a duty of a prophet is to help give you direction to the future. So we have a word of knowledge and we have a word of wisdom. A word of knowledge is from your past and your present, while a word of wisdom is a guidance to the future. So you might have the knowledge, and sometimes you have questions in your heart, asking God for direction. So my duty that day is to listen to the Holy Spirit as I'm already preparing for it, and then as the Lord leads me, okay, X, Y, Z. So confirming what people already have in mind and to point to the future. Some of them that might have a business, point out the dangers they may face, the challenges they might face. Because I've also discovered that in the kingdom of God, we think because we are Christians, we are born again, we are pastors, we won't face challenges in the world. No. So we have this mentality that business has to be done religiously. No. We have to separate it. We have to separate it, which will be explained on the day 2, because I'm going to speak in day 2 as well. So Jesus made a statement. The sons of this world are wiser than the sons of the kingdom. He made that statement based on business standpoint. So we're going to dissect that. With that knowledge, the 3rd day, we will impact and we will also impart the word.
All right.
And that is primarily my duty.
All right, that's a lot of duty.
I know.
Yeah, but I totally get it. Let's talk a little bit about how timely the project is. The seminar will be, the presentation, and how people can get involved, because that's the important part, for people to be able to get online and access all of this information that you're going to be sharing.
Yes, so it's very timely from this standpoint that things happen in the world. We just had COVID-19, and God knows what else can happen. And with that, there were a lot of businesses that were shut down and a lot of businesses that were started, but what it taught me is that there's so much within us, so many gifts and talents, abilities that we have untapped, that we are actually called to develop businesses with, to actually help others. And it is important now for us to really focus on what we have and go to the next level. And that's what the gathering is going to be about. Giving you the experience, giving you the wisdom and understanding and knowledge from expertise, and then the spiritual impartation. So to be part of this gathering, you just have to go onto the website. It's www.thesoarexperience.com.
Oh, that's wonderful. I know that you had quite a few. I'm going to get back to you in a moment. I know you had quite a few people who are also going to be a part of the 3-day experience. So if you can remind everyone of some of the other speakers who are going to be a part of it, and then we'll come back to you.
Sure. So on the day 1, it's a virtual summit. So these are going to be shorter speakers. We have Crystal Day. We have Rhoda Wanisi. We have Ronica Ngasama, Shan Ives. We have Shanandria from the USA. And we have many others. On the second day, I'm going to be speaking. My husband, he's going to be speaking, and we have it there on the screen. We have Adeshua Greg Igodaro. She is going to be talking about digital branding, and she's really awesome. We have our very own here from the island, Jewel Maynard Roberts, and she is a lawyer. So she's going to be talking about the legal. And on that same second day, we have our Power Talk speakers again, the shortest speakers from Pace Digital, one of our major sponsors. We have Gail Welch, we have Siester Thornhill, we have Kimisha King, and we also have Keena Gardier. So it's going to be an amazing set of speakers that are just going to blow your minds away, because they are doing business, they are Christian, and they are doing it according to the will of God, and they're being successful at doing it.
I know that you wanted to talk about how timely it is as well.
Yes. I just wanted to add to what my wife already said. You know, when we came together, when God brought us together, God spoke a word to me, 2007. He said, your wife and you are going to be a bridge between Africa and the Western world. And from there, I think several years after, God spoke to my wife and gave her a connect called Ruina Connect. Ruina is a word in Nigeria, I think other part of my name means wealth. So it's called Wealth Connection. So one of Ruina's Connect is this program. So if you observe the speakers, we don't just select the speakers. God gives the speakers from different aspects. So one of the things that the people are going to expect is that there are going to be connections. These are people who have succeeded in business, mind you, who don't do business religiously or sentimentally, but people who know God and they've dedicated their mind into business and to serve the community. So it's very, very key and very timing now. You are coming out of COVID-19, so you already have a connect that gives entrepreneurs. That's why we said it's not just for Christians alone. It gives entrepreneurs the opportunity, bring what you have, ask questions. There are going to be connections, and by God's willing, we connect you, you explore the world. Go beyond the 4 walls of this country. Go beyond the 4 walls of your region. There are many things to know outside there.
Amen. And that's what soaring is all about.
Yes.
There's some people who all they need is a little motivation.
Yes. Exactly.
They just need to know, they have the knowledge, and they might have the experience, they have the wonderful ideas to get the business done, but they need that little push, that little extra confidence to be able to get that done. To be able to so many successful people together, as you mentioned, they're all very successful presenters in one space, one digital space, for them to be able to capitalize on is truly, truly remarkable. Now, you said this is not only for
Christian business owners.
No. So for anybody. So, let's talk a little bit about that, because sometimes when you hear this is for kingdom people, some people might say, well, maybe not. Maybe not for me, but.
Yes, it's for anybody, any business owner with an idea, because as we said before, all the speakers, we're not going to be out there preaching the Bible on those days. We are telling you what we've tried, those things those techniques and expertise that we have, what we've learned in the university, that we've applied, all these concepts that we know and that are working for us, of course, with the foundation that we are Christian and we do have the backing of the kingdom and a format that God has given us. But on that third day, we definitely will focus on inspiring you so anyone can come.
It's all about elevating your business.
Yeah.
It's all about the SOAR Experience Global Gathering 2023. Final appeal, why should people come on out and be a part of it? I know you talked about all the areas of business that they can capitalize on, the people that they can really learn from, but from your perspective as well as a spiritual leader, talk to us about how important it is for God's people to really just be successful at what they do as well, and trust.
Okay, thank you very much. You see, I was born into religion. I grew up into religion, and God pulled me out of religion. So, when you mention Christianity, people look at religion, but Christianity is actually a life. Mind you, when we talk about kingdom, there are two major kingdoms, the kingdom of God and the kingdom of darkness. But in this kingdom, God placed three rules or three authorities: God's authority, governmental authority, parental authority. So when we talk about kingdom business, we are talking about principle. So a kingdom is governed by principle. So we are talking about principle, doing business according to principle, God's way, in collaboration with the governmental and in collaboration with ethic, which has to do with parenting now. So now, we want to see how we can break people off that mentality. Because I've also seen Christians, in quote now, that they think everything is all about religion. Oh, their reward is in heaven. No. Jesus said to Peter, anybody that follows me, you will definitely receive your full reward on earth and life everlasting. So Jesus said that to everybody. And why would Jesus be angry in the story he gave about the king handling talents to different people? Why would he be angry with the man that buried one? That is religion mindset. So religion mindset is a cage. And our main goal is to break people out of it. Because I cannot give you what I don't have. So it's all about testimonial and then not convincing people, but teaching you the truth and how to break out of it. So we are pointing, teaching, and leading you out of that mindset.
To get any more, you're going to have to sign up. You can't get any more this morning. That's all we're giving you.
No problem. There are a lot.
No more for you today. No more. So make sure you go to the soarexperience.com, SOAR experience.com to find out a lot more about it. And I'm truly excited about it. What stays with me and what I think I'll take through my day today is when you talked about not having keys, like, so you think you own a house, but you don't have keys. Like, how are you going to get in?
Exactly.
Is it yours? Ownership is a big thing. So you guys will be handing over the keys to really getting business done. So I wish you the very best. Wonderful to hear about it. It comes off October 13th to 15th, a full virtual, and it's what we love to hear. It's free, people.
All free.
Absolutely free. So just go on and sign up. Can you sign up on the day? Must you sign up before?
You should sign up at least by the 11th of October.
Okay, so make sure you sign up before they get started. It's the 13th, so we still have a few days to go. And another reference to your talents. Everybody has something set aside that they can really build on and thrive with. So looking forward to this conference. October 13th to 15th online is an experience for all of us. So make sure you are a part of it. Thank you so much, Dr. Vicky and Solomon. Otoruyina.
Yes.
Well, I wasn't going to say it twice again.
Yes, you got it.
So I got it right, even the pronunciation. So,
Yes.
look at that. Getting there. Thanks for coming in.
You're welcome.
And, let us know how it goes. Share some photos, some online screenshots, some of the success stories as well. We'd love to hear about how it goes. But always wonderful to be able to get people into an entrepreneurial mindset, think about how they truly can explore the talents they have. So thank you both for coming in.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, so coming up next, we are talking sports as we continue to share all about the Pan-American Games coming up. We have Chelsea Tuick here and Kenny King. No surfboards, or maybe Chelsea has brought a surfboard. Who knows? I'm looking off to the side. That's all next. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
98.1 to 1 is more than a station.
We don't just play music, we keep you company, cheer you up, keep you informed and entertained. We're a vibe. What do you mean?
Every day we bring the party to you.
We are your #1 party station.
We love playing music for our listeners. And we're committed to working with our clients and advertisers to make sure that you get the attention that you deserve.
98.1 The One.
Celebrating 18 and still your #1 party station.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kia Lewis, General Practitioner and Healthy Lifestyle Advocate. Good nutrition starts at home. So this school year, I want you to consider packing healthy, nutritious snacks and lunches for your children to carry, rather than having them buy them at school.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, so we're talking today about the 2023 Pan American Games, officially the 19th Pan American Games, commonly known as Santiago 2023, is an upcoming international multi-sport event governed by the Pan Am Sports Organization. And, there are many sports. People are going to be competing for Barbados in numerous areas. We have 2 athletes who will be competing for us coming up, and some fairly popular names as well, or very popular names. First of all, I told you, Chelsea Tuick is here. Of course, she's a 27-year-old Barbadian surfer who made history by becoming the first surfer from the Caribbean to qualify for the World Surf League. Hey, we can hear the waves in the background. And Kenny King is here, 21 years old, former junior national champion in boys singles and doubles, and the 2019 Caribaco Junior International Men's Single Bronze Medal Men's Double Champion, and so many other titles. So good morning, guys, and welcome. Good to have you with us.
Thank you.
And the cheers are going on in the background for both of you. I'm going to start with you, Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about how you got into surfing and then elevated to the place where you started competing,
Mm-hmm.
and then you realized, hey, I might be good at this,
Mhm.
and then you started competing for Barbados.
Well, I have 2 older brothers and an older sister, and my older brothers and my dad would go surfing and leave me at home. And I'm quite a few years younger than them, but I always wanted to do whatever they did. So begged my mom, and she got lessons for my sister and I. And then it became a family affair. You know, every weekend we would go surfing, and I absolutely love the ocean and love the water. And then my two brothers got to go on trips to represent Barbados. First, my eldest brother Shane went to South Africa for the World Junior Championships, and then the next year both of my brothers went to Tahiti. And I said, well, that sounds incredible. I want to start doing competitions. And I started doing it and loved it. Loved the feeling of competing, loved the challenge of the waves. And then I went on my first trip to the ISA World Junior Championships in Brazil in 2006 when I was only 10 years old. And there I saw some incredible female surfers like Bethany Hamilton, Sally Fitzgibbons, people that I thought I would only see through the screen, and saw how they competed and thought, wow, they are incredible. They're my role models and I want to be just like them. And I've pushed myself and kept competing, had a very supportive family as well that took me to overseas competitions and have still loved it. Still love
you're
it.
here with people saying, I'd like to be just like you. So, I mean, it's come full circle. What about you, Kenny? Tell me about your journey with badminton.
Well, similar to Chelsea, my brother actually is the one that got me into the game. It was actually quite a funny story because I actually didn't want to play badminton, but he would usually go up on Saturday mornings and it would just be him left, and he just came home one evening and asked, can you come up and play with me? So I'm just not the only one there. I was like, no, it's a girly sport. And then I actually...
It's a what?
A girly sport, yeah. I thought of it as a girly sport, but I decided the next week to just come up and play with him anyways. But, you know, I actually fell in love with this sport and, you know, history, really and truly. Yeah.
Talk to me about one of the most exciting meets that you've been a part of so far. I mean, you have so many accolades to your name. 3 times on current men's singles senior national champion. You've become a senior national champion at just 17 years old, making you one of the youngest winners. And you also attended the Pan American Junior Games in 2021 in Cali, Colombia, 2022 Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, England, the 2023 CAC Games in El Salvador. Boy, are we busy.
Yeah, I am. For sure, the most exciting one would have to be Commonwealth Games because, like, you're there with world champions and Olympians. Like, I got the opportunity to play England and Singapore, and to be able to just share the stage with them, coming from a small island like Barbados, it just made me feel really good, really and truly. Like, I felt a little out of my element at the beginning, but you know, you really have to take it in mind that these are professional athletes that you're playing against. So that was definitely the most exciting game
and
for me.
so are you. You
Yeah.
said these are professional athletes. I'm like,
Yeah.
so are you, Kenny King.
Yeah, but when you see like world champions playing at that level, it's like, wow. One day, you never know, I could actually be a world champion, you know?
Absolutely. And speaking of a world champion, Chelsea, you have competed in World Surfing League's events and won, competed and won, let's say that, in South Africa, Spain, Martinique, USA. And most recently, you claimed gold for Barbados at the CAC Games. So congratulations
Thank you.
on that.
Thank you. That was a very special one.
It must feel really wonderful that you're still able to compete in the sport you love all these years later. You know, I took note of the fact that you said you started competing for Barbados at age 10. That is an amazing feat.
It has been a wonderful journey, and I love to represent Barbados. I think when you are competing for something more than yourself, going to these team games, especially a multi-sport games like the CAC, was really special because I wanted to add to Barbados's medal count. I wanted to get gold and stand on the podium while I heard the national anthem play. So that was really, really special. It allowed me to qualify for the Pan American Games that we're going to next month in Chile, and I'm hoping to do it again.
That's wonderful. What about you? What are your hopes for you with the sport?
Well, really, I just want to develop myself, you know, into a much higher level of a badminton player. So far, with the support of my coaches and stuff like that, it's been possible, really and truly. I've just come from this junior that has potential to just really elevate my game as the years go by. So as the games come on, you know, yeah, really and truly.
Ready for the games.
ready for the games.
That's wonderful. And thanks for your service. I mean, you know, just to compete for your country, it must be an amazing feeling. You have to tell me, Chelsea, because I know everywhere you go, people are saying, Barbados.
Where is it?
Barbados. Yeah.
A lot of the time, they're like, oh, Barbados, wow. Tell me again where that is.
And you say one
and
name?
I'm like in the Caribbean, and they're like, wow, that is incredible. Tell me about it. I'm like, well, we've got some of the best waves in the world, some of the most incredible people, best food, clearest, warmest water, and I could go on for ages. But it's really fun to be able to chat about Barbados when I'm away and yeah, just represent my country.
All right, so this meet, Pan American Games, how are you prepping, Mr. King?
Well, preparation has been going pretty well. I mean, you know, every athlete, I can say, yeah, they've had their ups and downs, but, you know, it's how we overcome those negatives that really show the true athlete comes out. So really and truly, I'm really excited and ready for these games.
And for you, Chelsea, I mean, like, you have the ultimate excuse. You're like, I'm going to the beach. I have to, you know, I have to practice.
Well, what will be different in Chile than Barbados is that it's going to be very cold in the water. So I'm going to have full wetsuit, booties, even a you know, a wetsuit hood and gloves. And so I've actually just come back from a few months in Australia because they are in the southern hemisphere. So it's quite cold where I was in Victoria. So I had to practice with all that new gear on, different equipment, and feeling really actually quite strong and prepared now with my new equipment and everything, and really just, yeah, every day in the ocean, surfing, preparing for those kinds of waves, and getting myself excited and mentally prepared as well.
All right, that's excellent. Once you come back, you have to let us know how everything goes. And, you know, we expect the best from you. We always hear this name. We always hear Chelsea in there, but we want to hear from Kenny as well. And we're going to have some more athletes coming through and sharing with us because we love to salute our athletes and, you know, salute the fact that you're representing for Barbados. So remember these names. When you hear them in the news, you're going to say, yeah, I saw them. They were on. Chelsea Tuak and Kenny King. Kenny in badminton, Chelsea in surfing. All the best.
Thank you very much.
All right. We're going to make sure that we bring some medals home to Barbados. Hear me? Like, I'll be competing. Anyways, we're going to take a break and come back and wrap up today's edition. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Tell me about it. And hot.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kia Lewis, general practitioner and healthy lifestyle advocate. Good nutrition starts at home. So this school year, I want you to consider packing healthy, nutritious snacks and lunches for your children to carry, rather than having them buy them at school. And don't just pack things you think they should have. Have a discussion and come up with things that you both know they will enjoy.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love cruise.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
So that's it already for today. Remember, CBC has a Shop and Win promotion going on. All you have to do is make sure you spend some money at the places we tell you, and you get a chance to go to the Dominica World Creole Music Festival. It's that simple. You're spending $50 or more at A1 Supermarket, Carlton and Emerald City, Little Caesars Pizza, Bridgetown Duty Free Fragrance Department, Superstyle Shoe Shop, Tropicana Jewelers, or Yaffa, or purchase any 3 Boost nutritional drinks. Send a copy of your receipt to WhatsApp 467-5465 or via email to marketing@cbc.bb with your name and contact information. Now, we'd promised that we were going to share with you more on the conference on values education today, but we had a few technical problems at the start, so we had quite a pushback, and we started a little late. So we're going to make sure we get that in for you tomorrow. Of course, that conference is coming up October 12th to 14th right here in Barbados. We're going to continue to tell you more about that as well. So as you go through your warm day today, continue to wear your smiles, do something nice for someone, and be sure to come on back again tomorrow as we say, Morning Barbados. Have a good one. On behalf of the entire crew, see you, God willing, tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you.